Samsung, Nokia, Huawei, Oppo, Xiaomi, they're all here and all got something to show. That's the thing about MWC, isn't it? It's all about the big releases. Say, for example, this, the Samsung S22 Ultra. The supposedly best of their S22 range. It comes with a touch bigger screen than its predecessor, a slightly more powerful CPU, and a bigger sensor, so its cameras can take better pictures in low light. But they have learnt from the S21 Ultra, because instead of flogging a 60 quid case to house the optional S Pen, they've just given it to you in here, and they've got a little slot for it within the phone, which potentially spells the end of the Note series. Who knows? But what I can say is, this does write smooth, you know, like pen on paper. Problem is, in some tests, the battery life is actually a little bit worse than the S21 Ultra, and its square design doesn't feel as natural in your hand either. And at 1200 quid, you wonder if it's worth the huge price tag with such little differences. But it pairs well with this, the newly announced Galaxy S22 Pro. This is the most powerful of its lineup, the 360, and it starts at around 1,099 quid. It offers a few interesting tidbits, like a 1080p front-facing camera and auto-framing, which keeps you centered in your shot for your video calls that undoubtedly became more popular over the last 2 years. Can't find me, there is, it's found me. But the multi-control impressed the most, where you can keep watch of your smartphone and also use your Tab S8 as a second screen, creating quite an ecosystem.
Well, Samsung stands for innovation. You know, typically where we lead, others follow. Bringing all of those elements of the Note and bringing them into the S22 because we listened to our customers. They wanted that productivity. They wanted that solution from us. Innovation and what our consumers tell us they want will be at the absolute heart of what we do going forward.
And here's the problem, that's it. With smartphones, we've been held in a kind of a holding pattern for years with only incremental upgrades every release. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all, and despite how impressive these handsets are, it's all kind of predictable. Here's another example. Huawei's latest P50 Pro is just another smartphone with small upgrades since the last. And their super device software, which they announced at the show, is, again, incredible, but just another ecosystem they've built to battle against the likes of Apple and Samsung. Look, here's the point I'm trying to make, okay? Here are some releases from some of the big companies, and here are the notable improvements from their predecessors. Camera quality, battery life, screen size. Is that all we've got to look forward to anymore? Okay, yes, in recent times we've had some exciting innovations like the foldable or the rollable smartphones. One noticeable trend is cheaper but feature-packed phones like from Xiaomi here, or going a bit more retro again like Nokia. But otherwise, it's just variations of the same thing, and has been since Apple debuted the iPhone 15 years ago.
Giant screen.
Can we really call that innovation? Is there a point to MWC if all you're going to do is go look at a phone and say, oh look, that camera lens is bigger?
There's innovation in the form factor, but there's also innovation in the connectivity and the content. We've seen the content ecosystem basically develop over the last years as well. So I think with every touch point that the phone essentially enables, you'll also find subsequent innovation come from that.
Okay, yes, innovations involving phones, but not the phone itself. Look, it's no one's fault, but the next killer device just hasn't arrived yet, and so it's all a bit samey. So maybe it's not worth coming to MWC again. There's nothing really special out on show.
It's not just about the glitzy phone launches, is there? Though? It's not just shiny things. There's a big mobile ecosystem and loads happening.
I get that, but people care about the big phone launches. What they might upgrade to next. That's what matters here to people.
It's not what matters. There's like loads of stuff going on. You know, there's loads kind of innovation, small players, big players. I'll show you. Stop being so intense. Cheer up.